Our prayers have been answered and the moose hide has been obtained. Now we just have to wrap up in Mystery Lake and begin the trek back toward Carter Hydro. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Challenges meta series. We are taking on the Nomad Challenge. This moose meat is cooking away. I don't actually have a ton of fuel on this fire, so let's change that. I might even need to add more, as a matter of fact, because, yeah. We have some more meat on top of this to cook. I think I grabbed a total of 4 steaks off of the moose. There we go. Yeah, then that should be good. So let's go ahead and pass some time until this is ready. Grab that off the top, and then we will cook the last 2 steaks. The moose hide is curing on the ground behind us. It's going to take a while to cure. Moose hides take 10 days to cure. 10 whole days. So it's going to be a moment before we can actually use that thing. But we've got a bit of a trek ahead of us after we leave this particular area, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We will have stuff to pass the time. I'm going to pick up this jerry can here. I'm going to refuel the... a little bit noisy outside, it seems. I'm going to refuel the lantern. I'm going to light the lantern, and we're going to take a look around, because we have not really looted this place up yet. At all. So let's see what the trapper had for us. We do have a revolver now, which is nice. It's actually kind of... oh, there's some accelerant compensating me for the accelerant I used last episode. I told you I would find more. There's another rifle cartridge compensating me for the obscene amount of bullets that were used to kill that moose. I can't wait to go back and watch that kill and just verify that every hit that I thought I got. Because it's possible that I missed one thinking that I hit, but I'm pretty sure I saw the rifle skill go up every single time, which indicates a hit. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything else apart from what's going to be in that safe. Let's check the first aid kit. Bandage, antiseptic, yeah. So we're going to be dropping most things as we did last time. Let's go ahead and do that as a matter of fact. I'm going to put the jerry can back. We're going to put that fire log back. I will leave the moose meat. We're going to put the lower condition antiseptic back. By the way, a few people have noted in the comments, condition on medical items generally doesn't matter. Like, once it's ruined, but you can use low condition medical items with no penalty. I've sometimes made decisions based on what I'm dropping that seem to indicate that I'm, like, prioritizing high condition medical items over low condition. And the main reason for that is just because I prefer to have the ones that are not going to spoil as quickly. But I'm not concerned about, like, food poisoning from antibiotics. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So those of you who have pointed that out in the comments are perfectly correct. There's no reason for me to be as judicious as I've been in certain points, like going for the high condition over the low condition stuff. In some ways, I've just been kind of mentally shortcutting, so to speak. The word is heuristically, deciding what I was doing with a particular, set of resources without necessarily applying the logic that's specific to that set of resources, because it doesn't matter at this level of challenge. It doesn't matter. So looks like we can just rush the rest of this. There's that. And that's pretty much everything except for the safe. So let's go ahead and see what's in the safe and then go ahead and get some rest. I'm just going to go fast. Looks like 51. No, 50. Okay.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
Calm down, Jennifer. I'll get you in a second. All right, 50, 19. $50, 19. 57.
Never know.
More maple syrup, another MRE. Nice. Okay. And with that being done, woo, we are carrying a lot of stuff. Holy crap. It's mainly the moose meat. All right, so with that in mind, let's see what I can get away with drinking. I'll go ahead and drink this orange soda. And I am going to go ahead and eat some of this lower condition food just to be safe before it gets any worse, which did, of course, take away some of the hydration that I just gained. Great. Okay, there's that. And now I guess what I'll do is, calorie-wise, I'm fine. So like I was saying last episode, I'm just going to drink some water to top off my thirst meter. Safest way to do that. And now we sleep for 6 hours. I'll go ahead and say 7 just to get the maximum amount of sleep out of this, just in case it gives me a little bit more than 6. I'll take it. I will take it. All right, now I'm going to eat these pinnacle peaches, because we'll get some water out of those. In addition to topping off our calorie meter. Not as much water as I was hoping for, sadly. Okay. And now we pass time for 12 hours. So, leaving this zone, we will pretty much just follow the train tracks all the way back across. We can loot along the way at a couple of spots, but I'm not going to deviate far from the train tracks. We'll just follow them back, kill any wolves that get in our way, and then go straight into Coastal Highway, which is the neighboring zone. Coastal Highway was the first zone added after Mystery Lake in the Long Dark. And then after that, what was, I believe... Oh my gosh, I don't remember the order at this exact moment. There was Desolation Point, and then I want to say Pleasant Valley. That's what I think it was. Desolation Point connects to the Coastal Highway, so it was kind of the terminus of the Coastal Highway. And then they added Pleasant Valley after that. Let's go ahead and chow down on some moose meat. Yeah, see, I'm not getting any caloric value from this, but I am filling my thirst back up, so I guess I'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and drink one of these teas. That's another thing I need to do. I've got several teas. I've got a couple of containers. Maybe not several. I have 5 teas that I can make on me, so I'll need to take care of that at some point. All right, so now I can sleep for about 8 hours, so let's do that. Mystery Lake's getting a little temperamental today. So we lost the improved rest benefit there just from that. We got that from drinking tea. We're going to eat the rest of this moose steak. And then what else can we do? I guess All right, we're not going to be able to eat many peaches. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons we didn't get that much water out of the peaches. We didn't eat the whole thing because my calorie meter filled up. So that's good to know. I guess I'll just drink the water that I've got on me. I'm trying to avoid drinking my water, but it's no big deal. And now we will pass time for 12 hours. While the while the window shades make a ton of noise. Okay, good, they stopped. It's like they heard me. They knew. They're like, yeah. We don't need to make this much noise. You're right, Hadrian. We'll cooperate. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, 6 hours. So this is going to mark approximately, when we finish here, this will be like the halfway point of the challenge. And then we'll have 3 more zones to visit, one of which will not require us to visit a bunch of different locations. Okay, so yeah, we do, of course, need to drink more. Let's take a look. Where are those peaches? Oh, I've got a little bit of dog food that I didn't finish eating before. Gotta finish off the dog food. Gotta polish that off. That is a priority. All right, there we go. See, that's more of the amount of hydration I was expecting, combined with what I got before. That's better. I'm gonna drink another tea. And I suppose I can go ahead and consume some condensed milk. Done. Ooh. More ominous music. All right, then. All right, so let's sleep for 8 hours. We're only going to get 7 or so. But again, if it gives me a little bit more than 7, I want to take whatever fraction it gives me. Just because. Because. That's why. All right, so we're about 2 days in. We have 1.1 day to go. So how about we... I'm going to do this condensed milk, because these are also heavy. That's the other thing with these. I can't remember, does syrup replenish or deplete thirst? I would think it depletes it. Okay, I can't... Yeah, my calories are full right now because I just had condensed milk. Duh. So, we'll drink this. And we'll pass time for 12 hours. Then we'll sleep for 7 or so. And then passing time for 5 or 6 hours should finish off Trapper's Cabin, thankfully. And we'll just have to remember to take the moose hide with us when we leave. So one challenge over the next little bit is I might move through Mystery Lake a little bit more slowly because I feel like I'm carrying a lot of stuff. I'll do as much inventory management as I can before I leave, so I'm not carrying unnecessary things. But that is going to be a factor. It's just worth mentioning. It's going to be a factor. It's amazing how much more chill the series feels right now since I'm out of Pleasant Valley. Okay, so maple syrup actually doesn't affect thirst at all. Interesting. Interesting. I would have thought differently, but okay. I'm going to drink one more tea. I know that I'm losing out. I'm not following my own advice necessarily because I'm losing out on the caloric benefit there, but... All right, that's most of my water. So I'll have to keep an eye on that as I leave, just to make sure that I'm not in bad shape there. But we're getting close to being done. And it even seems like it might be a good time of day when I leave. Thankfully, there will be spots along the way where I can kind of stop and rest. So let's see how we're doing. 2.7, so yeah. 5 hours should do it. Actually, it's like between 5 and 6, isn't it? Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's between 5 and 6. Called it. There we go. Trapper's Cabin is done. So, we're 31% cured, which is very much in line with what we were thinking in terms of the 10-day processing time or curing time on this. So, I have a little bit of meat on me, and that's a slight problem. Because I don't want to attract unwanted attention. It's not going to be the end of the world if I do, but I would prefer not to.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
So let's see what I'm carrying here and what I can get away with dropping. All right, I can drop that. That's not very heavy, though. It's mainly the meat, unfortunately. So this might be a situation where I just leave the moose meat behind. As much as I hate to do that, it doesn't make sense for it to lug that around at the increased risk. I'm going to go ahead and drop these torches because I don't need them. I'm going to drop these because I don't need those. Yeah, 11 pounds. So ironically, the item that will eventually be increasing our carrying capacity by 11 pounds is currently adding 11 pounds to how much we're carrying. So that's the issue that I was concerned about. We're going to be a little bit slow as we trudge back towards Coastal Highway. But then the locations that we stay at in Coastal Highway, we will absolutely finish carrying this thing as we travel. So we'll be okay. Yeah, I hate it. I really hate it. But we're just going to drop the moose meat. We don't need it. Let me take one more look at my various tabs here. There's really nothing else that I can drop. I'm tempted to drop the cooking pan just because we'll find another one. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll find another one. We found so many already. We will find another. Not too concerned about it. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and drink this water. I think that leaves us with very little water, but still plenty to drink. Otherwise, let me grab that firearm cleaning kit so I don't completely forget about it. We're also carrying this revolver now. Let me go ahead and refuel. Not refuel, but reload. Let's refuel the revolver. Okay. And outside we go. I have literally started, when I'm carrying the revolver in the long dark, I've literally started using trigger discipline when walking around with it. So, you know, as most of us do, I would imagine, when we are walking around in a shooter, we'll have our index finger on the button that we use to fire the gun. That is a doe. Thought it was a bunny for a second. A couple of doe. But a little bit noisy out here. But what I tend to do with the revolver now is I will actually move my finger over to the right mouse button so that I have both mouse fingers sitting on one button so that my finger's not on the trigger when I'm walking around like this. And it works. It works really well. And it's what you would do technically. You wouldn't necessarily do it with a revolver because revolvers tend to not have hair triggers. But I guess it depends on the firearm. But still, it's the revolver in the long dark, not in real terms. The revolver is the only weapon in the game that can be fired from the hip. So you can just click the mouse button accidentally and fire this. Whereas you can't really do that with this. If I were to press right now, I'm clicking with the left mouse button, nothing's happening because you need to aim first. We're not going to go say hi to Max, but we're gonna wave from a distance. If that makes you feel any better, we're gonna wave at Max from a distance. Oh, is Max not there this time? Oh, there he is. Hi, Max. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you see what I see? Oh, you might not see it because of YouTube compression, but I see it. I see it. I see it. Oh, I'm glad I came to say hi to Max. Holy crap. But now we're going to be carrying even more stuff, unfortunately. How about that? Hi, Max. How's the wife and kids? Good? All right, good talk. See ya. All right. I am carrying a lot of stuff now since I picked up that survival doll. So especially on uphill climbs like this, things are going to be a little bit slow as we make our way back across the zone. But as soon as we have that moose hide satchel, it's going to be like a revelation because it's going to go from that being that 11-pound penalty, and there'll still be, I think there's still a little bit of a penalty from carrying it. It's not going to be 11 pounds though. See, demon noises, I swear. So we'll still have a little bit of a penalty from having it, but it's not 11 pounds, and then it will give us 11 pounds of additional capacity, which will really, there'll be a dramatic increase in speed compared to what you're seeing right now. So it's getting dark, but that's okay. We're warm enough. We're pretty well rested. As a matter of fact, I can drink one of these coffees. And now we've got some more energy. Weather seems to be getting a little worse, but again, we're going to be following train tracks. So I'm going to just brave it. I realized that if I wanted to be incredibly efficient, I could have just cut across the zone here. But it's not going to save me. Will you stop? Would you stop? That is demented and evil. Sorry, I'm just memeing on the doe. Mainly because I'm happy the doe is in the game. We've been waiting for deer that don't have antlers for seemingly ever. Also, because we have the revolver, I can now scare wolves off quite easily. Quite easily. With very, very minimal effort. That wolf is still around. I know they are. Just... they've wandered to a different spot, but they can't be far. I mean, they might have a wide patrol circle, but I have a feeling they're probably up by the tracks. Stayed perfectly camouflaged down this slope before, so it's possible it's hiding on the other side of the slope now. Totally intentionally. This wolf is messing with me. Actually, I don't see it. Okay, getting pretty dark. Yeah. All right. So we're just going to follow the train tracks. Ideally, when we were making this trek, we'd have a bit of a nicer view. There's a lovely kind of iconic mountain straight ahead if there weren't snow and fog blocking the view. So as we follow these train tracks, they'll take us through the zone. We'll stop at... there are a couple of derailed train cars where we could potentially get some loot. There is a car that is not derailed near some logs, near the logging camp, where we can get some loot. And then we'll just round a corner and be back at the Carter Hydro Dam. And at that point, we'll transition into Coastal Highway. Well, the ravine first and then Coastal Highway. The ravine will also potentially have some loot for us. Those of you who watched Against All Odds Season 6, you'll recall that the ravine... I think the ravine is the way we took, right? There's a couple of ways into Bleak Inlet, and the ravine is one of the ways. If you go down from the climbing rope into that crevice, into the actual ravine, which used to have some loot in it. Sorry, I hit my mouse there. Used to have some loot in it. Like, you could get the flare pistol down there, but then you'd have to climb back up. There's nothing there for you. Now that's actually a way that you get to Bleak Inlet. Thankfully, the Nomad Challenge does not include any Bleak Inlet locations. Nomad Challenge is one that was mainly conceived in the early game when the zones were newer. But that is how you get to Bleak Inlet, so you'll recall that area. Good Lord. That's twice in, like, what feels like one episode. It's 2 episodes in a row, actually, which is even better. I could kill it. I actually do want the rifle skill here, so come on. Oh, I missed. Got him. I'm not too worried about expending extra ammo. Yeah, I'd rather have the rifle skill. So there's the potential that we'll run into additional wolves as we head down the train tracks. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying before I got startled for the second episode in a row after talking trash about how I would never have Hadrian shakes again. You might recall that we used the ravine, I believe, to get into Bleak Inlet. So we're going to pass by that area, but not actually go down into the ravine. Going to go straight into Coastal Highway, which is a path that I've taken quite often in Against All Odds series and my Long Dark content on the channel, because again, these two zones that we're about to traverse between were the original two zones. So like that transition zone was a big deal in the early game when the world was not nearly as massive as it is now. My God, I love playing this game way too much. I'm looking at the episode timer like, are we 25 minutes in here? What the heck is actually happening? Okay, well, as I walk across here, I've been tempted to finish the walk, but at this current rate, it's gonna be another little while before I actually reach Carter Hydro, and I have a few spots to loot as well. So I'm not gonna worry about finishing the walk while we're on the way, but I will take my lantern out. How about that? That's a nice compromise. I'll take my lantern out. I'm gonna stop this episode here. We'll give you some light, but I'm gonna stop the episode because that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, okay? Makes sense in my head. I'm going to stop here. In the next one, we're going to keep making our way towards these loot locations and then to Coastal Highway. And all the while, we will, of course, be carrying this lovely moose hide satchel, but it's 31%, or this lovely moose hide, but will be a moose hide satchel. Will be cured, and then we'll be able to move a lot faster and carry more stuff a little bit more easily. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.